Fuck. Um, I watched Aliens versus Predator Requiem just now, and you know when people say, "What the fuck did I just watch?" after they see a bad movie? Well, you can literally say that about this because it's like darkness, the movie. You can't see a thing unless it doesn't matter, basically. Um, I know, right? Okay, so every sequence with aliens fighting and predators fighting is just in shadows or darkness. It's trash the way it looks. Um, I sort of didn't mind the original Alien versus Predator, which came out in 2004. That was made by Paul W.S. Anderson, and I don't hate him as much as some people do. Because sometimes you just want some easy garbage to pass the time, and he's made some of that. Mortal Kombat, I sort of didn't mind. It was fun, it was campy. The Resident Evil franchise, and Event Horizon, which is probably his best film. None of that is game changing, but it's good brain off popcorn crap, and that's what Alien vs Predator, the first one, was. Um, this one is not directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. It's directed by some people called the Brothers Strauss, and it came out in 2007. Well, what else have they made, you ask? They've made the Skyline films. I've seen a couple of those and thought they stank, basically. So I don't rate them. But anyway, what's the plot of Aliens versus Predator Requiem? Is there a plot? Well, there is nominally something that resembles a story. Apparently, after 2004's film, there's a Predator ship leaving Earth, and it has face huggers and Scar's body on it. Scar was a Predator in the first film. So, anyway, they're off. They're leaving the Earth, and a chest burster comes out of Scar's body, and it has both alien and Predator characteristics. So, it's what's called a Predalien. Fine. And that starts killing all the predators on board the ship. So now they've got an emergency there, and the ship duly crashes. And then some face huggers, regular face huggers, come out the ship onto Earth, and the Predalien escapes. So on the Predator homeworld, which I looked this up, it's called Yautja Prime, apparently. One editor on the Predator homeworld, one predator on the Predator homeworld gets a signal and decides to go kill all of the loose aliens, all of the xenomorphs that are now bound to be running around on Earth. And he goes across the galaxy because he can. There's no cryotubes or years long wait. I don't know how he does that, but he does go to Earth. So, actually, I did look this up. I looked up Yautja Prime on some of these fan sites. Apparently, it takes months or years to get there, to get to Earth from there, even if you use multiple drop holes. And apparently, a drop hole is a structure using diamond filament to create a fold in space. Um, I checked some fandom sites that go into detail from the comics to find that out, but I just let that go. As an aside, this is one of those things where if the film is good, you don't really think about it. It doesn't come up in your mind, or it just comes up for a moment. So, although looking for plot holes on purpose is a bit lame sometimes, I think it's also a sign that the film's a bit wank if you dwell on them, because that means the movie hasn't given you anything better to think about. So that's just an aside. But anyway, so this predator that's on Yautja Prime and goes to Earth, who is called Wolf apparently, goes to Earth to mop up, and he has some sort of purple gunk that dissolves evidence of predators and aliens, so nothing's left on Earth. So, another aside, I didn't really care for the presence of aliens on Earth in the at this point in the Alien franchise timeline. If this film is canon, and to be honest, it's not really for me. That means that aliens have been to Earth before Ripley met one in Alien. All trace of them is eradicated in this film, but I don't like that. I don't know. Whatever. So meanwhile, while all this is going on, there's some teen drama involving a pizza boy, which is just what you need for a good action film. He likes a girl, but this other guy's beating him up for it. I didn't really care about any of these people. But anyway, they and some cops get caught up in the general chaos as Wolf the Predator fights aliens and the Predalien, and then a nuke goes off and it ends. And all trace of the aliens has been destroyed from Earth. And the last scene is a colonel, some corrupt colonel, I assume he's corrupt, giving Wolf's plasma gun to Miss Yutani of Wayland Yutani. So that means that Wayland Yutani, the company, had Predator tech before Ripley even appeared in Alien, which I think was set in 2122, if I remember correctly. And that's if this is canon. It's not for me. What's good in this film? Okay, so it's short. There's that. It also feels long, so that cancels that out. The aliens and the predators look decent when you see them, which isn't often. They're just, most of the time, they're shapes in the shadows, just dripping slime. The characters are two-dimensional, but it doesn't really matter for this. You don't care about them, obviously, but it's supposed to be about aliens fighting predators, and that's what you come for, so never mind. If the fighting was good, that wouldn't matter. But it sort of isn't, and the problem here is the direction, I guess. The editing, the direction. The story is nothing really, but if the camera work and the lighting and the editing and all that sort of stuff were okay, they probably could have made something decent out of it. There's a couple of really gnarly bits in this, like a pregnant woman with things coming out of her belly and some bloody deaths, and a child gets face hugged and chest bursted, which is sort of cool. It's always good when films have the balls to kill kids off, in my opinion. But this is such a throwaway film. It's too dark. It's too much dark, shitty, shaky cam shit all the way through it. Apparently it cost $40 million to make this, and half of that must have been wasted because they couldn't be bothered to turn on a lamp or a torch or something. So well, I don't know. Just not good. Not good. So anyway, having seen this now, let's just say this is canon for a moment. That means I've now seen all 9 Alien films. This was the last one, and it's the worst one. So I'll give my ranking of the entire franchise out of interest. In terms of everyone has Alien and Aliens at 1 and 2. They're sort of interchangeable for me, but I'm going to go for Aliens. Because this is more going on, but I can understand anyone that says Alien is number 1. So Aliens, Alien, then the assembly cut of Alien 3. If it's the theatrical cut, it would be much lower, but Alien 3 assembly cut, 3rd place. Then Alien Romulus, followed by Alien Resurrection, but they could switch places depending on my mood. And at the back, Prometheus, Covenant, Alien vs Predator, and then this, Alien vs Predator Requiem. And I almost might put Alien vs Predator before Covenant, by the way. Even though Covenant's a well-made film, it looks fantastic, and there's good ideas in there. I just don't like it very much. And I think, I have a strong affection for Alien Resurrection because I saw that at the cinema when I was about 17. Had a good experience with that at the time, so that's quite high up on my list. So in terms of this film, what would I give it out of 10? I would have to give it a 3 out of 10. IMDb currently has it at 4.6. So it's not popular. It's not a popular film. It's made me want to watch almost anything else as a palate cleanser. Unfortunately, it's just not fun. Sorry about that, it's not fun. You'd be better off watching Neil Breen or something. At least that's fun, that's funny. So 3 out of 10 from me. A bit disappointing, but I left this off. I put off watching this because everyone said it was bad, and I watched it just to have completed the franchise. Now I have. I won't be revisiting it. Not a good film. So there's nothing much left to say except for subscribe, like, and comment if you're so inclined, and I'll see you again.